Did you ever make anything happen? Anything you couldn't explain when you were angry or scared?
I'll fight you.
Neville, I'm really, really sorry about this.
You're a little scary sometimes. You know that. Brilliant, but scary.
Well, well, well. I can't believe it. It's finally here. Hogwarts Legacy. Now, this day means a lot to me, and I think it means a lot to many sad people in the world. Because I am a massive Harry Potter fan, okay? I played the Harry Potter video games growing up, even though they were terrible, I still loved them. I mean, this is what we had to deal with back then.
I don't like the look of that armor. I don't like the look of that armor. I don't like the look of that armor. I don't like the look of that armor.
It's over. It's just a memory.
Amazing! This is just like magic!
Shocking, am I right? Truly shocking. But all of my life, I have dreamt about, exploring Hogwarts, an open world Harry Potter video game set in the magical world that J.K. Rowling created. And even though most people now want to burn J.K. Rowling at the stake, like the goddamn evil witch that she is, even though she's just speaking her reality, her truth. Truly pathetic if you ask me. We are all entitled to our own views and beliefs. And it's so disgusting, and of course it's classic that the shills like IGN and the big gaming media outlets, which are all paid off and corrupt, okay, they are of course bringing up the whole J.K. Rowling issue, and this will no doubt harm Hogwarts Legacy when, in fact, nobody actually cares about that stuff. We just want to know if Hogwarts Legacy is a good video game or not, and yes it is. Hogwarts Legacy is magic, okay? This game is pure magic. It's all of my dreams come true. So today I'm going to be giving you my Hogwarts Legacy game review, my Hogwarts Legacy review early, like I do with all of my game reviews, and I do this to save you time and money. But let's be honest, most people have pre-ordered this game already. Now, I always encourage people not to pre-order games. That's why so many games are unfinished and broken or just terrible on release, like Forspoken, like Sonic Frontiers, like Cyberpunk 2077, like Battlefield. There are so many countless examples now because developers know they can get away with this because they have found a new way to make quick amounts of money, and they found a loophole within the system where they can basically lie to the consumers and show false gameplay by using, just marketing strategies nowadays. It's all about marketing. So you never know what you're going to get until you get it. So please don't pre-order games. But with Hogwarts Legacy, luckily, we are in for a treat. But there are some issues which I will go over. So if you like honest reviews and no BS, and you like someone who is anti the establishment, calls them out, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I am building a media empire here, so join the community, join the savior empire, and you will not be disappointed. Check out the other videos I make, check out the music that I make on Spotify to support me, and consider a donation so I can keep doing this. That would mean a lot to me. And some people have said in the past, Savior, you only do reviews early so you can get on the game early. I'm not actually a soul-sucking vampire, believe it or not. I may look like it, but I do this because I actually care about consumers, okay? I actually care about where our money goes. It's very important we come together and we call out the greedy practices in the gaming industry and the media and the establishment. So that's why I do it, okay? I'm not going to pretend I don't like views, of course I do, but I do this early to try and save you money and to tell you how it actually is. So please do subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me, you have no idea. I put a lot of effort into this stuff, and it's just a simple click of a button. I would appreciate it. Now let's get on to my Hogwarts Legacy game review. So in this review of Hogwarts Legacy, I'm going to frame it as positive, negatives, positive, positives, negatives, like that, okay? I've got all of my notes together, very organized, like a professional YouTuber. Susan Wojcicki would be proud. So I'm going to go through them all. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and you can basically decide if this sounds great or not. And I personally think Hogwarts Legacy is amazing. So to begin with, let's first talk about the deep character customization. Now, the character customization in Hogwarts Legacy is great, okay? It's very detailed, and you can choose the house that you want to be in. I'm a little bit disappointed I would have preferred if there was some kind of gameplay mechanic where you have to answer a bunch of questions like you do in Fallout New Vegas, for example, in the beginning, and that kind of shapes your character, and they tell you what house you should go into, and then if you don't like it, you can change it. But no, you can just choose what house you want to be in. But the character customization, you know, is deep, and you can basically create whatever character you want, whatever gender you want, most importantly, okay? And it is a bit weird. You can basically be a male character, but you can play in the female dormitory, but that's because they are trying to be inclusive, because we have to remember that we live in very diverse times. The only thing I don't like about the Hogwarts Legacy character creator is the voice pitch, okay? You can basically tweak, you know, what your character sounds like, but there is only two choices, you know, a female voice and a male voice, and then you can tweak it by using this pitch scale, but it just sounds unfinished and it just sounds weird. You can basically sound like an early Xbox squeaker that you used to get in the olden days, or you can sound like an AI artificial machine. So it doesn't sound good, and I don't know why they did that. I think it would have looked more professional if they just took that feature away completely, or they actually just added, you know, some added voices into it, but I guess that would have taken too much time. The next positive is Hogwarts Legacy runs at a smooth 60 FPS on the new series consoles, so Xbox Series X and S and PS5. I can't talk about PC. The next best thing about Hogwarts Legacy is, of course, the complicated and the detailed version of Hogwarts that we get to explore. If you've ever been a fan of Harry Potter, exploring this is going to be an absolute dream. For me, it's going to be an absolute dream because I love Harry Potter, and actually now visualizing, you know, the empty spaces between, you know, what we have thought about in our imagination when reading the books or watching the movies, actually walking around Hogwarts and stuff like that is going to be amazing. And the detail that I have seen in the preview gameplay that I've managed to get my hands on, it's absolutely incredible, okay? And the best thing about it is, yes, there are actual secret passages, just like there is in the books and the movies. There's lots of interaction, not as much interaction as I would have liked, but there is interaction in the castle, which is nice, but I just wish there was a little bit more. You know, NPCs and stuff, they don't react to your spell casting. You can't break many of the objects in the castle itself, which is a little bit disappointing. It would be cool if you could just kind of, you know, create havoc a little bit, but I can understand why you can't do that. You can pet animals! And now another negative, sadly. Now, like I said, I am being very honest in my Hogwarts Legacy review. That's what I always try and do. I don't sugarcoat it. The gaming industry doesn't deserve sugarcoating anymore when there is a lot of corruption. So Hogwarts Legacy does have a problem, and that is repeated character models, okay? You thought Bethesda was bad. You thought seeing the same child over and over and over again, hearing the same voice lines over and over and over again, you would think that would have been, you know, just left in the past where it belongs. But for some reason, Hogwarts Legacy, they have only rendered so many character model students, and not just for students. When you go out into the open world, you will see a lot of the same faces, which is very, very disappointing, and it feels very dated. Give me a negative, give me a positive. Well, how about the musical sound effects, okay? This is very important. Just think how iconic the Zelda, you know, sound effect is when you find you know, a treasure box or whatever, and you open it up. Hogwarts Legacy shares that same identity of pure nostalgia, especially if you love the movies, if you love the music of Harry Potter, then this will fill you full of nostalgia, and just, it's so great. Not just with the musical, like, little chimes that you get, but when you're on your broomstick, you know, just the noise, the sound effect of the wind kind of whipping your character's face and, like, climbing and then, like, dropping into a dive, stuff like that. It all sounds amazing. And I have to say, the graphical art design, it's very photorealistic in some ways. You know, I expected it to be more cartoonish when they announced it, but if you look at it, the best way I can describe it is almost the same kind of graphical design as Red Dead Redemption. Obviously not as detailed as Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's got that same kind of graphical style, if you know what I mean. As much as I wanted Hogwarts Legacy to be more of a sandbox type game where you go to classes and basically you can progress however you want, you can decide what quests you want to take on and stuff like that, and you go through Hogwarts as a first year all the way up until you finish Hogwarts. Hogwarts Legacy is obviously not like that. This is a story-driven game, and you are basically only going to play as a fifth year. You're not going to see time pass. Time will only pass when you complete certain big story moments. And yeah, I just think it's still cool to see, you know, different weather effects and snow and stuff like that, but I just think it would have been a lot cooler if it was a more sandbox type experience. But yeah, this is a very story-driven game, and yes, there are side quests, but you can't just take whatever quest you feel like and complete the story in whatever order you feel like. It is a story-driven game. You know, Harry Potter is targeted towards the people who grew up with it, so people in, like, my age, like in their 20s, and of course children who are still finding Harry Potter and, you know, basically falling in love with the franchise. So it's mature, but it's not mature, and it gives you freedom, but it doesn't give you freedom. And what I mean by that is I would have loved to see some kind of, like, wanted system, almost like GTA, because that would have been so cool if you just go out into the open world. And we know dark magic is an option in Hogwarts Legacy. You can do pretty crazy stuff. You can actually kill people in Hogwarts Legacy. You can use the torture, Cruciato, you can use the Crucio curse and stuff like that. But yeah, there is no, like, auras that come after you. And basically, if you don't know, because I'm a Harry Potter nerd, forgive me, auras are basically Oreos. They're basically the wizard version of police, and they go around and chase, you know, dark wizards and stuff like that. But no, there's no wanted system or anything like that. There is no consequences to your actions in that regard. And you can't just attack whoever you want, which is a shame, outside of actual enemies attacking you. Another negative is, even though the puzzles are fun, they are very, very, very simplistic, and I understand why, but, you know, if you're not gonna do interesting puzzles, I would rather not see them in the game whatsoever. Another big plus is the HUD customization. You can tweak this, and I absolutely love games that allow you to take away all of the crappy HUD elements, because I don't want to see that goddamn BS in my video games, okay? I don't want to see a mini-map, I don't want to see a bunch of icons, I don't want X-ray vision telling me what I can see around a corner, so it takes away all suspense. I know the modern day gaming industry likes to treat its gamers as a bunch of babies, and they think we can't think for ourselves whatsoever. Games never used to be like that. You can turn off the hand-holdy mechanics and, you know, that open world just BS design, game design philosophy that is destroying the industry. We do not have any Quidditch. I mean, come on, guys. Quidditch is very important for any Harry Potter fan, and they have even made Quidditch games just based around Quidditch. I remember this old Harry Potter game on the PC, playing it as a kid. You know, I can't remember what it was called, but it was simply Harry Potter Quidditch. You could only play Quidditch mode, and the original, you know, Harry Potter games on PC, they all had Quidditch included, so it's very disappointing. Now, there is a lore reason that there is no Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy, and that's because the headmaster has banned it for this year. But still, I think it's a little bit of a cop-out, and I was disappointed. Now, I'm one of those people who believes the Rockstar linear mission format is dated, okay? And if you want to know what I'm talking about, I suggest you go watch Nakey Jakey. He did a good video on why Rockstar linear mission design is dated, and Hogwarts Legacy suffers the same fate. This is a massive open world game, and it encourages freedom and agency from the player, but when you start a story mission, you are so limited in how you can tackle any situation. You will be blasted with a return to the mission zone text message from the game because you can't think for yourself, remember? Not anymore. No, you can't do what you want. I just don't like that game design philosophy. It just doesn't blend well with open world games, if you ask me. It just takes away it takes away the whole point of an open world game, if you ask me. And sadly, you know, they're trying to replicate what's popular, like Rockstar games and open world games. They all follow that same format, and it's a shame. Oh, Luigi, my crippling arthritis is seizing up again. Another positive, okay, is you get these lovely scripted events when you're traveling around in the Hogwarts Legacy world and within the castle itself, which is pretty cool. This goddamn headset is annoying. Yeah, I do like that. It's pretty moist, pretty cool. I was very detailed with my research and what I could actually get my hands on. I made sure to make the most out of my experience, and I realized, and I love this, I absolutely love this, this game, Hogwarts Legacy, reminds me a lot of Fable, the original Fable, Fable The Lost Chapters. I don't know if anyone has played that, or if it means anything to a lot of people, or if it means anything to anybody, but Fable basically started the whole karma good versus evil choice system and popularized it. And, you know, Hogwarts Legacy doesn't do that. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But what it does do is, basically in Fable, when you took a quest, you could boast about it. After you complete the quest, the NPCs would react to the quest that you just, you know, completed. So if you managed to slay, you know, a monster, then people would call you, people would say, oh look, it's the troll killer, it's the dragon slayer, or whatever, or chicken chaser, you know, stuff like that. And Hogwarts Legacy does the same thing, which I absolutely love, where it calls attention to your past deeds and what you've actually done in the world space. So that brings me on to my other negative, and that's basically what I just talked about. There is no karma system, and the fact that they included an evil choice within the game, I think it would have been great if they had some kind of karma system, but basically, being evil in this game doesn't actually change anything that much. Of course, there's going to be new dialogue and stuff like that, but there's no consequences to going evil, as it were. I mean, there are to a degree, but there's no karma system, and that would have been cool to see if there was actually a karma system in place. Now, another positive is the combat system is absolutely amazing. Now, Harry Potter games have always been notorious for bad combat. How do you make spell combat interesting? You know, it's not something that we see in many games. Basically, it only exists within the Harry Potter universe. So they had to rethink combat, and they did a great job by basically using this color casting spell system, which is very satisfying and actually more complicated the more you get into it, the more spells you unlock, and it basically, you have to juggle all of these different elements, and basically you have to use certain spells with certain enemy types depending on what they're casting and the color of their, you know, spell. And another positive thing is this supports actually a surprising amount of playstyles, because you can be more of a pacifist, you can be, like I said, a dark wizard, you can be more of like a sneaky kind of ninja wizard if you want, and you know, you don't have to get into combat, you can just sneak around by taking invisibility potions and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And you know, you can swap out your spell deck to exactly your playstyle. And the final negative is the dialogue choice is pretty limited. It's not like a full-on RPG where you have massive amounts of choice, but you do have some kind of player agency with what you want to say, what kind of character you want to be, which is still more than I ever expected from a Harry Potter game. So this is still a dream come true. You know, if it wasn't Harry Potter, then this wouldn't be as amazing, but because this is set in the Harry Potter world, this is absolutely breathtaking. And even if this was just a random universe and it wasn't set in the Hogwarts universe, this would still be pretty amazing because the open world, the exploration that you find within the game, all of the different, you know, options that you can choose, the combat system, all of that stuff is great, and they still did an amazing job. There's so much secrets to be found, and I absolutely loved that. And another positive that most people don't seem to talk about, but this is a big thing, especially if you're one of those people who likes building games. If you love the settlement system in Fallout 4, for example. So basically you have your own little personal area that you can build your own house, your own environment, and, you know, make like potions and stuff like that. And you can even look after your own magical creatures. There is a lot going on. And even if that kind of stuff is a little bit more surface level, you know, the taking care of your magical creatures, the fact that that's even included in the game is just amazing. But the building element is actually very detailed and complicated. You can actually shrink and resize things and just place it anywhere in your personal space, your personal safety bubble. Yeah, so that's great. So that is my review of Hogwarts Legacy. That is my Hogwarts Legacy game review. I think this game is pure magic and it's spectacular. Everyone is going to love it, I'm pretty sure, even if you're not a massive Harry Potter fan. And the best thing truly about this is you can tell for once that the developers truly care about the source material. They truly love Harry Potter and they are all so excited to be making this Harry Potter game, this Hogwarts Legacy game. I hope you enjoyed the video, my beautiful sinners. Please subscribe if you are new to the channel. It would mean so much to me, you have no idea. Check out the music, like I said, that I make on Spotify if you like electronic, new genre type synth music, and consider a donation to support a humble, smaller channel. And I'll see you in the next video.